Hey kids, how about a little extra magic hour?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Extra Magic Hour podcast with your hosts, Tony Casanova and Parkhopper John.
What's up, dudes? What's shaking? How you doing? Are you getting it?
What's your schnizzle?
What's this? It's more 90s, I think.
Oh.
What's up? Totally grody, yo. I'm just kidding.
Totally
Welcome,
groovy
everybody.
and rad, man.
It's totally rad. Totally.
Cowabunga, dude.
Cowabunga, dude. Welcome everybody to the Extra Magic Hour show for our Disney Parks Podcast Patreons. Welcome. If you can't figure out what we're doing, we're talking about all the totally 80s attractions that Disney just took out back like Old Yeller. So we're going to be talking about some of our favorite attractions from back in the day. Now, full disclosure, some of these attractions I've never ridden because I came to Disney late in life. However, I did get a chance to ride a couple of rides when I was younger because I came for a one-day Whirlwind Magic Kingdom Epcot. And I don't remember a lot, but I do remember some. And everything I know, I learned from watching YouTube videos and talking to Disney fanatics who have been here from the beginning.
Right.
Just like my Uncle Tony.
Right. Wow.
So,
hey, before we start, I'm going to ask the Patreon people, because you all are Patreons, would you want the show to be live on the Patreon Facebook group? If you would, just send us a message, and we will do that. Because right now we're just putting the recorded version up on YouTube, but if you want to watch us live, I can't guarantee the time, but we'll be on the group somewhere between 7 and 8, because that's when we record.
right.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. So just let us know what you think of that.
Yeah, we could totally do that.
Yeah.
And but to do that, we have to make sure that everybody is above the $1 level.
Yes.
So we would encourage you to, if you are already contributing $1 a month, thank you so much. And if you want to stay there, that's totally awesome.
Sure.
But we would love to get everyone at the at least $5 a month level, so that we can give everyone access to the live video show on Facebook. But for everybody from $5 up, you'll still get both audio shows on your Patreon as part of your rewards. So that's kind of how we're trying to make that work. We're trying to make everybody happy, yet at the same time not kill ourselves in the process.
Right.
Right? Fair enough?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so what's the first totally 80s attraction?
Totally 80s, man. And I really wish they had left this as is. I mean, it's good now. It's fine. I just don't like the whole pre-show thing and what they turned it into. The World of Motion. So this was definitely in the 80s. This is one of the top 6 attractions from the decade. Rivals anything in any other 10-year period, and ranking the almost impossible process as a personal preference player a significant factor. So this was test track, but without the test track aspect. You know?
Really?
Yeah. And it was a cool ride back in the day. I enjoyed it as a kid. I remember it as a kid. In a way, the ride almost even existed as a way for the sponsor, General Motors, to recreate some of the premises from the Ford Magic Skyway at the 64 Fair. That is one thing that really didn't come back from the World's Fair,
right?
In any kind of reincarnation, in Disneyland or anywhere. So this was, I guess, a whack at that.
So if it was so popular, why did Disney get rid of it?
I don't know. Change it for the times, new technologies, better ride, better, experience for the guests would be my only, without without having an Imagineer on the show, it's hard to say why they do anything they do.
Right. But I think that from what I've read and the things that I've studied, it kind of dated itself versus what happened with Horizons.
Right.
Nobody can give a straight answer as to why Horizons was taken out. Of course, I guess they needed the space for test track or mission space. One of the two. Mission space.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. If you miss World of Motion, I'd be interested to see how many people can remember that and want to take another ride at it.
Yeah. So why don't you do the next one, because I kind of know the one after that.
Okay. The next one then is Body Wars. This was the style of attraction built in the brilliant design of another ride that we'll discuss later. Body Wars anchored the former Wonders of Life Pavilion as a motion simulator that mimicked the Fantastic Voyage premise. So you were shrunk down to the size of a molecule, kind of like the movie that Daniel Quaid was in too, and then put into somebody's body. Ooh. And that's, so you were inside the human body. So this, I think, also, for me, fell under that edutainment category. They were trying to teach a little while making it a fun, cool experience. And I think this fell into that. I mean, that's what, not Saratoga Springs, the Disney Institute. That was, it's, Eisner's brainchild. Well, we're going to make it edutainment. So I think this fell under that. I mean, Eisner was still around, so he was doing this. So guests boarded their vehicle, shrunk them down in size, allowing them to view the human body from the inside.
From the inside.
Right. And then along the way, the rider aided in the rescue mission for a brave doctor who had gotten trapped. So it was kind of cool. I remember this. I rode this only a couple times because I think as kids we did not enjoy this all that much. Like, ooh, who wants to go inside the human body? That's weird.
Gosh, I hope we don't go in near the butt and get farted out.
Yeah, exactly. How do we get out? But I do like the movie Fantastic Voyage. I thought that was a great movie as a kid.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing that in the theaters, and I'd like to see that on Disney Plus.
It's Fantastic Voyage is a Disney film?
Yes.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one, I have ridden the last iteration of this ride because they recently got rid of it. And it's a ride, it's an attraction, another edutainment style ride that outlived its usefulness, in my opinion, by decades.
Right.
It's the Universe of Energy,
right?
Later to be known as Ellen's Energy Adventure. It played its final round of Jeopardy in 2017, but it wasn't the first attraction that Universe of Energy had. Epcot's opening date of October 1st, 1982, Universe of Energy hosted a similar, albeit lesser, version of the same concept. So this is one of those attractions that back in the day, a large throughput attraction that told a great story, kept people engaged, kept them in air conditioning for a very long time,
right?
Had some animatronic fun things, and told a compelling story.
Right.
It was great, but when they opened Dinosaur over at Animal Kingdom, I think that was one of the nails in the coffin. Yeah. I think the story had to be retconned and updated.
Right.
And then Ellen came in and they updated the story. And it's just a lot of the facts and figures that they were espousing during even the last ride through. I remember thinking, well, that's not right.
Yeah.
I think it was a tough sell. Originally, it was hosted by ExxonMobil, right?
Yep.
And it wanted an attraction that educated guests about the nature of fossil fuels. So it was very pro fossil fuels.
Right.
It did not end pro fossil fuels, I don't think. No. It was very, very negative. Yeah. So it's been closed, and and repurposed, and now it's going to become the queue line and the launching area and some of the show building for Guardians of the Galaxy Mission. That's not right. Mission Breakout.
No,
that's not. That's the
no.
name of that attraction.
No,
Guardians of the Galaxy
Mission Rewind or something like that.
Coaster Rewind something.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
did you see the attraction vehicles for Guardians?
Yes.
Spinning around and tilting.
Mm-hmm.
That ride's gonna be off the chain.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Yep.
I think, and listen, somebody can correct me because I'm not always right. I think this was one of the first trackless attractions that Disney had built.
It's not shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, there is another attraction that was built around the same time that has the exact same style of track, which we'll talk about here in a bit.
Yeah, so I think that's true. I'm not sure. I'd have to go do a little bit more research.
Right.
All right, next up is, you want to do the next one?
Sure. It's an attraction that I love. I would love to see the original version.
Oh, gosh, yes.
I would love to see the entire building be retroed back to the way it was because I hear it was amazing. I do love the main character. I do wish they would bring back Dreamfinder. Of course, I'm talking about Journey to Imagination.
Right.
For those of you who weren't around for the 1980s and thinking really crazy about Journey to Imagination, the Imagination Pavilion that you know now as Journey into Imagination with a Figment is just a shell of its former awesomeness.
Yeah.
But back in 1983, Imagineers introduced Epcot visitors to Dreamfinder, one of my favorite characters that I never got to meet, who was an inventor who immediately created a dragon named Figment. The ride was delightful, combining music and clever writing to tell an engaging story. And the attraction itself was very innovative. Now, if you go into Mouse Gears, until they change Mouse Gears up, you can actually see one of the original Dreamfinder vehicles inside the attraction. It's in the back right as you walk. So there's the main Mouse Gears front door, and then there's the door that you enter in from the breezeway, electric umbrella, and then there's the other front door. Where you come in from the back from Test Track, walk in from Test Track, and look up, and there you'll see that ride. Disney has upgraded it and refurbished it and changed it and changed it and changed it, and it's just not fun anymore.
No. It's very weird. It's a very weird attraction now.
And I love Eric Idle as much as the next guy. But I just, I think they were trying really hard to connect the Flubber and the, Journey to Imagination and all that stuff together into one cohesive family. And Honey, I blew up and shrunk the audience and kids and Snake and all that good stuff. It just wasn't I mean, the 90s was not a very good time of year for that whole area of Epcot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did like, I don't mind the Pixar thing that they have now. Well, they've taken the characters out, and just now it's a movie. But I liked when they had Captain EO back in there, too.
Yeah.
I think that was a very good, and I don't know why they took it out again.
Well, it's the same reason they took it out the first time. It got tired.
Are you tired, Captain EO? Do you need to go home?
I think people were tired of watching Captain EO.
I don't know. Can you get tired of watching? I kind of like that show. Did you?
I liked it too the first 5 times I watched it.
All right.
The next 20 times I was like, okay.
Yeah. And, we talked about last week a lot of entertainment budgets, and this falls under that, but Dreamfinder was, a walking person with a Figment puppet kind of thing. And I also miss, like, the Muppets Mobile Lab, too. Throw that into the mix. We should probably do a show on all the mobile things they had.
No, yeah.
Like Lucky, Muppets, Push, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I would love to see them bring more of these walking characters around to kind of, go out and have some fun with the kids and, even the adults, you know.
Right. Right.
All right, the next one is a Star Tours. Star Tours. Nothing but Star Tours.
Nice.
So according to a legend, George Lucas developed a relationship with Disney's Imagineers during the production of Captain EO.
Captain EO, a great little seafood place.
Yep. At some point, he hinted that he'd love a Star Wars ride at a theme park. And soon...
I would love a Star Wars ride. I would love that.
I'd like to go in and change it every year or two to make it.
I would like to go back and fix it every year.
Yeah.
Computer technology, I think, is going to be a really big deal. I think that'd be great. Could we do that? C-3PO, R2-D2, the whole 9 yards. Luke Skywalker, pew pew. It'd be great.
Pew pew. Soon afterward, they pitched him on the premise for a previously abandoned ride concept at a theme park adaptation of a black hole. Disney highlighted the potential of Star Tours, a humorous failed vacation in a galaxy far, far away. And the rest is what we like to say, theme park history.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, I was in the park opening day of Star Tours 2.0 when said Mr. Lucas was actually in the park with a whole ton of Star Wars peoples. Anthony Daniel, I think they were all there for this grand reopening of Star Tours. Anthony Daniels,
There were
I
a
bumped
few of
into
them
him. Yeah, I think. Oh my God, what the hell's his name? Not
Darth
Hans. No.
Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker guy. I can't think of it. Mark Hamill.
Mark
Oh
Hamill.
my God, I'm like drawing a blank tonight for some reason. But so what version do you like? The original, or do you like the new version of Star Tours?
I'm torn.
Okay.
I love the new style. I love the better 3D. I love the better stories. I love the better locations. I love where Darth Vader reaches out and grabs the thing and shakes it. I loved Rex on the original.
Right.
I hated they added R2 or C-3PO into it. I just think that wasn't such a great move.
Do you like that it's a different experience each time you go on? You know, there's, I don't know, what, 30, 40 versions of it?
Yeah, I find myself on similar
Right?
experiences.
Doesn't it seem like you keep doing the same?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always doing the same thing. Like, is it
I'm
my
sick of
magic
pod
band?
racing.
Oh, Tony's
No.
on. Set it to this.
Yeah, I'm sick of pod racing. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, yeah.
I have not been to Hoth. I would love to go to
Yeah,
Hoth.
I haven't been there either.
But I do like the concept of it's a different experience every time. I find myself always in the back half of the vehicles. You know, there's like 6 vehicles, and I always
Right.
find myself in the back half. I often wonder if the front half is different. You know, are all 6 vehicles running the same show, or
Yeah, I don't
are
know.
all 6 vehicles running something different? I like the new way they've done the little screens and the intro where you're looking up and you're watching the little vignettes happening with droids loading the
Right.
ship.
Right.
I don't like the translation bot. I like the girl with the Mickey cockeyed Mickey hairdo.
Yeah.
There's certain things about the original attraction that I love, but
Right.
I'm not missing the enhanced video.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, wouldn't it be interesting that, say, said things that you do in Galaxy's Edge, and then when you come out and you go to Star Tours, kind of dictates then what thing you might see, you know, what planet you might go to because of what you did on the Millennium Falcon or the Rise, or characters you encountered there could change your Star Tours experience. That would be great if they would tie these two things in, because then that would make it, oh, well, this thing is out here, but at least it makes some sense to what is back there.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother ball game for me. I would love if you were one of the people who chose the the side of the Resistance, and then you go ride Star Tours. It's like, we're looking for a spy, and it'd be that person.
Right. Right.
I think that would be cool.
Right.
What about you? Do you have a preference of the new one or the old one?
I'm kind of siding the same things as you said. I mean, I like that the original one, you knew it was the same thing every time. Mm-hmm. There was no, oh, it's going to be this, and bam, and then it ends. So, I guess I kind of like that-ish,
right?
Rather than not knowing what I'm going to be doing.
Right.
But the other thing, too, is they spent, I was just reading this, $2 million worth of military flight simulators, and then retrofitted them to be an attraction. Mm-hmm. So just not the building, not all the stuff, just the flight simulator thing was $2 million worth of flight simulators. And as John was saying, there's 6 of them. So very interesting, right?
Yeah, I read that stat, and what I would love to know, if they could retrofit new versions of the flight simulators, how much better they'd be.
Oh, yeah.
How much better the movements would be. Because, you look at what goes on with Pandora, and now,
right.
You make that experience group-wide. You look at what they're doing with the Millennium Falcon ride. Look at what they're getting ready to do with Rise of the Resistance. I think Disney's got better technology, but, if it ain't broke, well, Disney doesn't adhere to this theme, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. And I think that's why everybody's expectations of Millennium Falcon was kind of, because we've been on Star Tours, which is a ride simulator. We went on something which is a ride simulator. Yes, it's a lot fancier.
Right.
But you still kind of gave us the same thing we've been doing.
Yeah, and it's not like
kind of
it was all right. It's not like you can't go to other theme parks and go on ride simulators.
Yeah.
And the problem with that attraction to begin with is there's a finite, it's a large number, but there's a finite amount of people who geek out every time they step on board the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I don't care how many times I ride that ride. I'll sit there and go, I'm on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid watching Luke train.
Right. It's when you're in the cargo area where the chess table is that I get the feeling there, like, oh God, I'm in the movie. And then when you step into the cockpit and you're sitting in a pilot seat, not in one of the other seats, in one of the pilot seats, and you're pulling like a lever that you saw pulled on the movie.
Yeah.
And then you get that, oh, this is cool. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just meh.
Yeah. Meh. And the problem that ride's going to have over time is if they don't change up the experiences. Now, granted, I think that there is a little bit of that built into the ride, but if they're not, like you can't show up on Hoth, you can't show up on another planet.
Right.
You're always going to be going down, chasing the trains, getting the whatever the crystal stuff is. And then if you have time, you're going to hyper light speed. You have to go through the meteors. You're going to crash land on the planet. And that's great. The first 5 times.
Right. Wouldn't it be great if you came out of hyperspeed and the Death Star was in front of you? And Red Leader saying, hey, come on, we're going in. And you kind of then partake in something that you've seen in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, whew.
But the problem
I'm getting a hot flash thinking about that right now.
And they built this problem. All of this area takes place after a set point in time.
I get it.
So that's a problem. That's going to be a problem that they're going to have to address.
Yeah.
Or they'll just change it to Agrabah and be done with it.
Well, if I have hyperspeed, can't I just go anywhere in the galaxy? Why does it have to be? I could go to any point in time.
One would think, wouldn't one? It's almost like it was predetermined. Anyway,
it's like if I had a time machine and I can only go to tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're gonna go as far as tomorrow. All right, go ahead.
So while Star Wars was focusing on one specific franchise, the anchor attraction in, I'm going to say it now with love, Disney MGM Studios
Let's have a moment of silence.
Yeah, focused and highlighted dozens of films, and that's the Great Movie Ride. From day one, this ride really set itself apart from movie lovers, because that's the whole reason that we were ostensibly at this theme park, because we all loved movies.
Right.
So during the earliest days of the studios, the park often suffered from capacity issues. So from a certain perspective, the Great Movie Ride stood out is only a true ride. You know, there's not a lot of rides because the park is new.
Yep.
So you've got this Great Movie Ride, and it held the mantle until the end of 2017. So a lot of people still miss it. Just saying.
Yep, there you go.
But the cool thing is you got to ride through a bunch of different scenes. My favorite scene was always Alien, because that movie scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I didn't care that I knew exactly when the aliens were going to pop out. I just loved it. And
the tagline for that movie has got to be one of the best taglines ever written.
Oh, yeah.
Ever for
it's
a movie.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
In space, no one can hear you scream.
Best tagline ever.
Oh, my God. And then...
What do they mean?
That movie specifically, I mean, we could do a whole series of shows just on Alien.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, just give me a couple minutes. We don't have to do anything today to talk about, heroines, and we're writing movies with strong female leads, and there's all sorts of political stuff that surrounds that, and I keep hearing this thing like, this is the first movie with a strong female heroine.
Yeah.
To which I say, have you seen Alien? Have you seen Aliens? Ripley, arguably, is the penultimate heroine.
Right.
She kicked the crap out of not one, not two, a veritable ton of aliens.
Right.
She killed them all. She became an alien and still killed them all.
Right.
So, but anyway, so we would go ride this great movie ride, and even though as the years went by, less and less of the ride actually worked, and they kept downgrading the actors, we still loved it. What was your favorite part of the great movie ride?
Oh, gosh. I think the end, when you watched all those clips of all those movies, you're like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, that was great. The Need for Speed, the bop. Why did it have to be snakes? The whole, kind of, because I saw almost, probably almost all those movies, and to relive those little clips, that little vignette. And I think this is one attraction that could have been changed, like every decade, to keep up with the movies. You change the vignette at the end, which I think they've done, or they did, and then you just change some of the scenes up. Swap out John Wayne to, I don't know, something else.
Yeah.
Maybe the parts where the live people are into acting, maybe those had to stay the same. That's fine. Maybe you could have changed those out even too. Sure, that would have been a pain in the neck to retrain every cast member to say certain lines all over and over again. But listen, every 10 years, just fire everybody, tell them to go do some other job, and you bring in a new crew.
Right.
I think this is one thing that they could have kept keeping up with the decades.
Right.
This is the 80s versions of the Great Movie Ride. This is the 90s version of the Great
Right.
Movie Ride. I don't know. That's
The
just me.
what was it? Spotlights on Parade. What was the?
Stars and
the very-
Cars?
No,
Oh,
no,
the first scene?
the first scene
Yeah, Spotlight on Parade.
where all the dancers were supposed to be moving.
Yeah.
I've never seen them move
Yeah.
ever.
I don't remember them moving. I'm sure they did back in the time. Yeah.
But you start seeing wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember one time we were stopped in the Tarzan scene, and we just saw Tarzan go and turn around, come back, and turn around, and go back, and turn around, come back.
Yeah, and that's like sometimes the car in the little mob scene. And sometimes it would come out.
And
sometimes it would come out a little bit. Sometimes it wouldn't come out at all.
Yeah.
It's like that car needed Viagra or something.
And I wished that. Now I'm getting ready to say something's going to hack a lot of people off. I really got tired of the Wizard of Oz scene.
Really?
They could have done something with that, you know. They could have done some really cool stuff with that because, you know, that's just me. But the coolest thing to me about the attraction, and once I say this, you'll resonate with it because it's one of your hot buttons, is it's a snapshot of all the different years of technology. Because you've got the old school stop motion animation with King Kong, right. And then you start having like the talkies, and then you start having, you know, more of the black and whites, then the color movies, right. And then you start having like the 70s movies, you know, Sundance, Butch Cassidy and Sundance. Then you get into the 80s, 90s movies, The Need for Speed. And then they flipped into digital with Bruce and Finding Nemo.
Right.
And then they kept going back and forth between digital and non-digital. And I thought that was great. I wish they'd have digitized the whole thing.
Right.
But it didn't take away from it because I love movies, so it was fun to watch.
Yeah. And something I didn't know till many, many years after I'd been going down there, that there were two scenes. That there was the Western scene and the gangster scene. Yep.
I didn't know that for a long time either.
Yeah. I was like, I guess when I went through and I just enjoyed it, I didn't go, oh, there's another scene? You know, so, yeah.
Yeah.
I do miss that attraction. I have to take a deep breath and say, I hope that they will do the right thing with this runaway train, that they will make it nice and make it enjoyable. I don't like the fact that it's this new crazy Mickey they've come up with, this Mickey on this Adderall. I don't appreciate that. Would have liked the classic Mickey, but I'm not going to make judgment yet. I want to see it, experience it, and then I can make my judgment. So for the love of God, Disney, please, do not screw this up. And the thing that I keep seeing, you know, so if you remember the Great Movie Ride, each ride vehicle was two pieces. Right? There was a front piece and a back piece. And now when I keep seeing them show the ride attraction, it's the train part is in the front where nobody's sitting, and just one. So are they going to cut the ride capacity in half by making one a train?
I don't know.
Gosh, I hope not. That'll be horrifying lines.
I don't know.
Oh, you know.
Hey.
That'll be sad, man. That'll be like, holy mackerel.
Right.
So, and also, I don't think there's going to be any cast members doing the old stick in there. I think it's, you know, it's all going to be animated.
It's all going to be goofy.
Or
shaky. Right. What's the last one on our list?
Last one is Spaceship Earth. Listen, Spaceship Earth has so many iterations, I can't even keep track anymore. I can't even remember the first narrator of Spaceship Earth.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So, you know, this is first of all, you know, it is the big weenie in the park. It is the big thing that you see when you come in. The thing you see from like the Magic Kingdom. You know, it's a big golf ball in the sky that
can't miss it.
Yeah, the building, the show building itself is iconic. And that's number one. And I think we spoke about this too. Is you know, they used to do a lot of things on and around this building. You know, they filmed the marketing where Mickey is standing on top of Spaceship Earth, and the helicopter almost blows Mickey off the building. Hey, Minnie! Where's my will? There was circus stuff. There was all kinds of things that were done based around this iconic building. Never mind the thing inside it.
Right.
To put a coaster inside a ball, I thought was genius. I thought that was like, what? What do you mean? And even the technology they're using to get rainwater. Have you ever noticed that when you're around Spaceship Earth, you don't get wet?
Yep.
All the rainwater goes down these channels, and I think it's hidden in the columns. They go into like these gutters and then go down and out and away from the building. So there's even technology on the outside of the building that is interesting as well. So I think that this was, now this is getting an update. This is going down for a hard rehab when it goes down. It's going down for 2 years, they're saying. Now, I've heard that they're actually going to change the track.
Really?
Yes. I heard that there were going to be changes to the track. The reason is because at the expo, Bob mentions that you're going to get out at that Siemens Lounge level. So that's different exit than going back out where you came in.
Right.
So that's the rumor. It's rumor. We don't know that for sure yet.
I hope there's more to that than just the track changes. I hope they really work on the story and updating it a bit.
Well, if he said story one time at the expo, he said it 5 billion times at the expo.
We're bringing storytelling and state-of-the-art technology together.
You do that, Bob. Thank you.
Together. Like the collector.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things, like that come out of Spaceship Earth, like thank the Phoenicians and all that kind of stuff. Yep. Steve Jobs in the garage, people saying that's Steve Jobs in the garage. Apple saying, no, that's not Steve Jobs, that's not the garage.
I've heard it's an amalgam of Steve and Wozniak and Bill Gates.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's just a nerd in his garage.
It's a nerd in his garage, and everybody did it back in the day,
That's what I did. Well, I did other things, but yeah, that's what I did.
So, this is, an iconic building. They're going to give it an update. And once again, we have to kind of sit and wait. We don't know yet. But, there's been narrators. I mean, who's done this? Gary Sinise has done it.
Really?
Judi Dench has done it. Who else has done this? Gosh, I can't even look.
Gosh, I can hear his name. I can hear his voice. The guy that did Scar.
Scar, yeah, the guy that did Scar. So it's had a litany of pretty famous narrators doing the story.
Who do you think they'll get to narrate the new story?
If I'm a guessing person and a betting man, they're going to get somebody young and hip that millennials can identify and connect to.
You're probably right.
They're not going to pick an old world star like we would, like Bruce Willis or Judi Dench, because millennials don't know that. They're going to pick, the guy that did Black Panther or something that people can identify. Oh, I know that voice. That's so and so from blah 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 blah. That's what I think they're going to pick.
They're going to pick. They're going to pick someone of color. And then we're not trying to be racist or political. They're going to pick somebody of color.
Yeah, they're going to go through all the diversity checkpoints and make sure it hits all of them.
They're probably going to pick. If they're smart, they'll have multiple narrators.
Yeah, for each scene, that would be very interesting. Yeah.
So they'll probably pick someone of color, probably a female. If they had multiple narrators, I think that'd probably be the best.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about it. I hate that we're getting a 2-year, because that of all the years that I've been going to Disney, that's the attraction that's been refurbished the most.
Probably.
Because I think when I started, I think I rode it one time, and then it went down for a major overhaul, and that's when they added the graphics that moved in the storytelling room,
Right.
and
Yeah.
they added the big screens with hunting the woolly mammoth.
Right. I think there's some interesting tech in there too. So
yeah, I agree.
We'll have to see if they're gonna really up their tech game.
Yep. All right. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. Oh, I will say this. So it'll be interesting. This if you go to the park early in the morning, like rope drop, everybody tries to get on Spaceship Earth. That's not the correct game plan. No. You want to do Spaceship Earth on your way out of the park, when nobody is doing Spaceship Earth. Don't even try it in the middle of the day. I've seen pretty crazy wait times during the middle of the day.
Yep.
So I always try to do it on my way out. Or do it very, very late in the day and then go see fireworks or whatever.
That's right. Preach. All right. See. What are your favorite attractions from the 80s? Try to focus on the 80s.
Yep.
And let us know your favorites. Let us know the ones that you wish would come back. What do we leave out? What do we miss? Just let us know. Leave us a comment in the section below. Again, thank you so much for being part of our Patreon family. We couldn't do what we do without you guys. We seriously appreciate you. We're going to put the show back out. We're going to do one show live. We're going to do 2 shows live. Just one show live?
Probably both of them. If we're going to do live, we might as well just throw them out there.
Okie dokie. So we're going to start putting the shows live out on the Facebook page. So the only way you're going to be able to see that is if you're at the $5 level of support, or I love this making plans on the fly stuff, or more on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks so much for doing what you guys do to allow us to do what we do. And if we don't see you online, we'll see you in the parks.
The Disney Parks Podcast is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. All Disney parks, attractions, lands, shows, event names, etc. are registered trademarks of the Walt Disney Company.